What if the end of the world is not a question of if, but when? The Book of Enoch doesn't just tell the story of angels and giants. It tells of cycles, ages of corruption, collapse, and cleansing. It describes the flood that destroyed the Nephilim. But it also looks forward to the end of all things. This is not a book of bedtime stories. It is a book of warnings, and tonight, we open its darkest visions, the prophecy of the flood and the end of days. Enoch lived in the generations before Noah. The world was trembling. The Watchers had descended. The Nephilim roamed the land. Blood stained the soil. Violence spread everywhere. Humanity cried out. Even the earth itself, the text says, groaned beneath the weight of corruption. And Enoch saw what was coming. He was shown that the Most High would not allow this corruption to last. The Watchers would be judged. The Nephilim would perish, and the world itself would be cleansed in waters of destruction. The flood was not an accident of nature. It was a cosmic reset. The archangels were sent to bind the rebels. Gabriel turned the giants against one another, so they destroyed themselves in bloodshed. And then, the waters rose. It was not just punishment. It was purification, a world cleansed of corruption so that life could begin again. But Enoch's vision didn't stop at Noah. He saw cycles. He saw that history moves in patterns. Corruption rises. Power is misused. Knowledge is twisted. Collapse follows. The flood was one cycle. The end will be another. And the end, Enoch warns, will not come by water, but by fire. He describes the earth trembling, the heavens shaking, the stars themselves falling, mountains melting like wax before flame, oceans boiling, the wicked swept away, the righteous shining like the stars. Sound familiar? The Book of Revelation echoes the same imagery. Stars falling, heavens shaking, fire consuming the world. The prophets of the Old Testament do too: Isaiah, Daniel, Joel. It is as if Enoch was the first voice in a chorus of apocalyptic visions, all pointing to the same conclusion: the end of the age will come, and it will come in fire. This raises the question: was the Book of Enoch removed from the Bible because it was false, or because it revealed too much? Enoch dares to say that the flood was not a one-time event. It was a pattern, a cycle, and that the world you and I live in will one day face the same turning of the wheel. But in the middle of his visions, there is hope. Enoch sees the coming of the elect one, a figure of light pre-existent, enthroned on glory, who will judge the nations and restore the world. For early Christians, this was a prophecy of Christ. For others, it is a messianic archetype, the eternal one who comes whenever the cycle demands renewal. Either way, the message is clear. Destruction is not the end. It is the passage to renewal. The flood was not the death of the world. It was the rebirth of it. The fire will not be the end of humanity. It will be the refining of it. And here is the most haunting part. Enoch warns that when corruption spreads again, when forbidden knowledge is misused, when arrogance consumes the earth, the cycle repeats. Look at our world. Weapons beyond comprehension. Technologies unleashed without wisdom. Systems built on greed. The earth groaning again. Are we repeating the days of Noah? Enoch whispers, yes. The pattern is turning again. Let me pause here. If you've tried to read the Book of Enoch yourself, you know how cryptic it feels. Dense, symbolic, written in riddles. That's why guides exist, to decode the symbols into something usable. One such guide is the Book of Enoch Decoded, the Watchers, the Nephilim, and the Secrets of Heaven. It doesn't replace the text. It illuminates it. It helps you understand the cycles, the laws, and why they matter now. If you're curious, I've placed the link in the description and in the first comment. Think of it as a small light in the storm. Because once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. So what does Enoch's prophecy really mean for us? It means the world is not ending randomly. It is not chaos. It is law. The flood was law applied. The end will be law applied again. When corruption outweighs balance, when power is abused, when the earth itself cries out. The cycle demands cleansing. It happened before, it will happen again. But do not miss the other side of the prophecy. Enoch does not only warn of collapse, he promises renewal, a new heaven, a new earth, the righteous shining like the stars. That is the choice: align with corruption and fall, or align with the law and rise. The Watchers broke the law and were bound. The Nephilim violated balance and perished. But Enoch walked with God, and he was taken. The path is clear. The prophecy of the flood and the end times is not just history. It is not just future. It is now. We are living in the cycle. We are standing at the threshold. The floodwaters may not rise, but the fire is already kindling. And in the midst of it, the Book of Enoch returns, not as myth, but as warning, not as story, but as law. In our next episode, we will ask the ultimate question: why does the Book of Enoch still matter today? Why, in an age of science and skepticism, does this forbidden book still haunt us? And what hidden truths does it carry for seekers now? Until then, remember, knowledge is power, but hidden knowledge is transformation.